Story 1. Using the library instead of buying books provides free access to a vast collection of books, audiobooks, and streaming services. It is a total game changer. Story 2. Meal prepping breakfast and lunch for the week on Sunday. By having something available, I resist the temptation to order when the rest of the office gets food from the local delicatessen. Story 3. Going to sleep at a reasonable time stopped me from snacking late at night. I was spending a lot of money on groceries because I would constantly snack at night. I would stay up late and watch movies. Instead, I take a book to bed and quietly read it next to my wife until we fall asleep. You will also feel amazing getting a solid 8 hours of sleep. Story 4. Do not care about the car you drive being the coolest. If it is reliable, drive it into the ground. You are saving several $100s per month for years compared to your friend who needs a new car every 3 years. Story 5. Buy in bulk when it is on sale. I learned this from my mother. She would buy large quantities that always seemed unnecessary until you realized that sometimes she would not even spend a cent for a whole month because she prepared for it months in advance. Of course, it might not seem like you are saving at first because you will be spending money, but trust me, once the good months arrive, they really arrive. Story 6. I have idiot money that is set aside as part of my weekly budget so that I can still satisfy my impulse purchase urges with little to no consequence. This has saved me a lot of money because $20 per week is manageable, and I almost never make major impulse purchases anymore. Story 7. Installing a price tracker plugin on your web browser ensures you are not paying an inflated price for items on Amazon. Story 8. This may seem simple, but where I live, bottles and cans are worth 10 cents each. If you redeem your return at Safeway, they give you 20% extra on your money. Story 9. Cut my own hair. A $30 clipper has saved me thousands. I keep every car I buy for at least 10 years and purchase very conservatively. Story 10. Learning how to do many simple repairs and maintenance on my own vehicle. Oil changes are very easy. Spark plugs are usually simple to replace. Air and cabin filters are also very easy. Even brakes and rotors were simple enough. Story 11. Be a loser. Save a lot of money by staying home alone. No bars, no nights out with friends, no extra gas for traveling to friends. Story 12. Always wait 24 hours before buying anything non-essential. Most of the time, I ended up not wanting it anymore. Story 13. Building a better routine and home. I created a more cost-effective and improved routine and lifestyle. I made an Excel sheet to track my spending for almost a year. I noticed I spent a lot of money on holidays that did not offer much value. So I started building a better home and a better routine, reducing the need for frequent holidays. I prefer taking 2 trips a year, even if more expensive, instead of spending money on random vacations. My second realization was that I often bought small items that added no value, such as a new MacBook, Apple Watch, coffee machine, and many clothes. A good television and a pair of closed-back Bluetooth headphones for walking improved my daily routine much more than wasting money on minor things all the time. I have so many electronic devices I do not even need. I have made my home better. One of my best changes is buying classic, basic clothes and ignoring trends. Adidas Sambas, white Air Force Ones, and white t-shirts from Uniqlo are much better purchases than fancy luxury items. I do not eat out at fancy fine dining restaurants because there is no meaning in it. No cocktails or rooftops. I have a much better time drinking beer or rum and cola in a local bar with people who connect better. I also do not keep a lot of money in my daily use bank account. I have a separate account for savings and investments. All leftover money during the month goes straight to savings or exchange-traded funds. Story 14. You know that thing you suddenly want out of nowhere even though there is no real need behind it? Do not buy it. Story 15. Reading fanfiction is free. There are hundreds of thousands of stories, including many high-quality works. Some are even written by best-selling authors. You can filter out topics you are not interested in, and there are many tags to help you know what to expect. Story 16. Wait 24 hours before making a purchase. This almost always eliminates the fear of missing out. The rational side of my mind often asks, do you really need that? At that point, only the items I truly need prevail. Story 17. I pay only $5 per year for the Disney Plus plan where they replace all the characters with Darth Vader so you cannot tell who is who. They do not advertise this plan, so you have to call their customer helpline and ask directly. Story 18. Steam refund policy and your phone alarm. You want to try the brand new game on day one without the fear of negative comments like, "Thank you for beta testing." Buy the game, set your phone alarm for 1 hour and 50 minutes, and play the game. Like it? Then continue. Dislike it? Request a refund through Steam. No questions asked, and you will get your money back. Story 19. Cashback credit cards. I had an unhealthy view of debt. It turns out I am disciplined enough to use it effectively. Story 20. I stopped using my clothes dryer and started hanging my clothes to dry. I added a clothesline to the backyard for the nicer weather. Everything I wear looks better and lasts longer. My electrical bill went down by $50 a month. Story 21. Excel and separate bank accounts. I put all my income and bills in Excel so I can immediately see how much is left. That amount is divided by 4, and the result is posted to my spending account every week. Free to spend. Story 22. Buy good quality used items. I sleep on a top-of-the-line luxury hotel-level mattress that I got for $80 plus $100 to rent a moving truck to transport it home. It was still in plastic wrap. The lady kept it in a spare room for her college-bound child who rarely visits. The lesson is that wealthy people like to declutter their barely used quality items all the time, and you just need to be open-minded enough not to care about being the first owner. Story 23. Switching to ALDIs was eye-opening because of how inexpensive they are. The cheese prices are unreal. I really enjoy their organic ground beef for $5.99 per pound. Story 24. Eating most food after sell-by dates and best-by dates is generally safe. If you strictly follow every self-imposed date, you may be throwing perfectly good food away. Check the actual safe dates for food if you are curious, and use your judgment if there are signs of decay, such as mold or discoloration. Story 25. Shaving cream to get rid of fleas. I did not want to use the flea shampoo. It worked like a charm. The poor puppy was so stressed he was injuring himself. I bought antiseptic and antifungal shampoo and used the shaving cream after the wound healed. He loved being flea-free. Story 26. Install 2 applications. First, Quick Compare to compare items from quick commerce. Second, shop swiftly to compare items from e-commerce websites. Story 27. It does not reduce overall costs, but I save £25 each month to prepare for Christmas, so I do not feel the pinch when it arrives. Story 28. Auto-deposit a good portion of your paycheck into a savings or managed investment account, preferably at a different bank than your checking account. It is true that you will always expand your spending to match your income. I found that having this arrangement quickly reduced my overall spending habits, even while having access to credit. Story 29. Learn to cook. If you do not want to cook 3 meals a day, at least start with breakfast or lunch. The number of coworkers I have seen spend $8 to $9 every morning at Starbucks without concern, while also complaining about other expenses, is way too high. I have saved a lot of money just by cooking 1 meal a day and having bagels or toast for breakfast with my coffee. 1 cooked meal for dinner, packed leftovers for lunch the next day. Repeat. Story 30. Do not go to the first place where the sales are. It takes time, but I prefer to go to several places or look at different websites to find out the price of something I want and buy it. I always end up getting a better deal and saving money. Story 31. Check more than one seller for local services. I needed 2 notarized papers yesterday. One provider asked for $800 each, and a second location, a 20-minute walk away, asked for $400 for both. Story 32. Having a purposeful life, hobby, or project has indirectly saved me so much. I now make fewer frivolous purchases, drink less, and obsess less over my own appearance, which was a very expensive obsession for me. Story 33. Buy as much secondhand as possible instead of buying new. Try to fix broken things or borrow from friends if it is something you do not need often. See if you can use anything else in the household instead. I mostly do this for sustainability reasons, but it also saves a lot of money. Story 34. Buy a large pot and batch cook soups, pasta sauces, chili, or whatever you prefer. It saves time and money. Story 35. Shop at Costco. Use in kind for dining out. Use Rakuten for membership rewards points when making purchases, and practice credit card churning. Story 36. Using tools to monitor prices of the items you want to buy, especially for expensive things. Do not buy things on credit or go into debt unless it is for a house or apartment. If you do not have the money in cash, do not buy it. Also, something very simple. Do not buy drinks, snacks, or sandwiches when you are out. You can bring them from home and put them in your backpack or bag. Story 37. Clean my own house. Mow my own lawn and clear snow from the driveway. Cook at home. Learn to fix things. Avoid buying a lot of collectibles. Take advantage of individual retirement account tax credits and Energy Star rebates. Install solar panels. Save energy by turning off lights and not letting the water run. Combine trips. Use the local library. Story 38. Start tracking your spending seriously. If you do not know where you are spending your money, how can you start saving? For example, a man started tracking and found he was spending $200 per month at the same burger restaurant. The burgers are great, but $200? Story 39. Just eat one nutritionally complete meal per day. Your body gets used to it and can still thrive just fine. Obviously, do not do this if you have pre-existing medical conditions, but for most people, we do not need to eat as much or as often as we do. Story 40. If you really want to buy something that is unnecessary, wait a month. If you still want it that badly, then buy it. Most likely, you will have something else in mind by that time. Story 41. It depends on whether you view this as a life hack, but having a large backlog of old video games to play means that by the time you want to start playing the newer games, they are already significantly cheaper. Story 42. My wife and I plan meals on Saturday morning and go shopping for the week. We buy what we need. $60 to $70 a week feeds us and the kids without problems. We used to order all the time, which was $60 to $70 a day. Drastic difference. Story 43. Professional meat slicing machine and a freezer. Sliced meat is sometimes 20 times more expensive than unsliced. Story 44. Doing 99% of my own automotive work. When I fix something myself, nothing else mysteriously breaks soon after, like when I used to go to a shop. Strange, right? In 25 years of owning my car, I have never replaced the constant velocity joints, control arms, ball joints, or shock absorbers. Every time I took my car to a shop, they wanted to replace these parts. Fed up, I started fixing things only when they broke or wore out. Story 45. I automatically hide money from myself. Even if it ends up stressing me, I never look at the investments, so I do not have a strong idea of how much I have accumulated until the end of the year. Story 46. Never buy the newest model phone or get it on finance. You can buy a refurbished like new phone from 2023 for £150 on sites such as Back Market. You do not need the latest model. Story 47. I had long hair and used to get haircuts every 4 months. When I cut it short, I had to go every month to keep it in good shape. Tired of wasting money, I bought a hair trimmer. Took some time to get the hang of it, but now I am my own barber. Story 48. Do not go with one of the major mobile phone carriers. My wife and I had Xfinity Mobile for a few years and paid around $30 a month for our 2 lines. We did not have unlimited data, so we made sure to avoid using more than necessary. I recently switched from Comcast to Astound Internet, added their phone service, and now I am paying $75 a month for gigabit speed internet and 2 unlimited phone lines. I do not get 5G, but who cares? Story 49. I get my nails done at the local beauty school by students. They do a great job, and it is half the cost of going to an actual nail salon. Also, I only drink water when at restaurants. Story 50. Create a legitimate budget, not to restrict yourself but to gain insight into how you spend. Be as detailed as possible with dates and everything. You will quickly find a way to clean up spending when you notice your habits. Story 51. Where I live, electronics need to have at least 2 years of warranty. I bought a pair of earbuds in 2017 and have been returning them right before the warranty ends or if they start breaking. I am currently on pair 7 or 8, still paying the same $90 I paid for the first pair. Story 52. Sparkling water with a little apple cider vinegar. Beats any drink for me now and costs nearly nothing. Story 53. Saved a lot of money by sharing a Spotify family plan with my friends. It honestly saves everyone a significant amount of money. Instead of spending $14 a month per person, you can gather 5 friends and start a family plan that costs $20 a month for all 6 people. Have the 5 people in your plan pay you annually $43 each to cover the whole year. Just make sure everyone uses the same address as the family plan host or manager. Story 54. Whenever I go out for drinks or out on the town, I take out a certain amount of cash from an automated teller machine. If I am low on cash, it means I need to slow down and be more conscious of my spending throughout the night. Story 55. Learn to fix things yourself. YouTube is full of great information on how to fix things. Tools are expensive, but I have saved tens of thousands of dollars. Just make sure you fix it the right way. One of the most difficult things for me is trying to figure out the best way to do a home improvement project. Analysis paralysis sets in. Then I visit a model home and see that their contractors have slapped things together haphazardly. Story 56. I make vegetable soup on Sunday evening and freeze it in portions. I eat it 5 days a week for one meal, either lunch or dinner. The soup contains lentils, onions, carrots, celery, leek, marigold stock, a teaspoon of Marmite, and dried parsley. It is delicious and costs about £3 maximum for all 5 meals. I do not drink soda, alcohol, fruit juices, or coffee, just tap water or peppermint tea. I buy toiletries, cleaning materials, and household items like toilet and kitchen roll when they are on offer and store them in the utility room. I very rarely buy new clothing, nothing this year so far. It is amazing what you can find in charity shops or online marketplaces. A portion of money is directed into savings every month as the pay goes into the bank. What you do not see, you do not miss. I walk locally and do not drive. I take buses or the metro if walking is possible. The house is only heated from the 1st of November to the 1st of April. Story 57. Homemade meals, and I don't mean just eating out less. The price of a microwave meal compared to cooking that meal using fresh ingredients is actually much cheaper. Story 58. Have direct deposit go directly to savings and your investment account so you never see it in your main checking account. Story 59. 1. Ordering from the buy one get one options on Uber Eats. 2. Using temporary emails to accumulate offers. 3. Sleeping. Story 60. Switching from an extensive supplement stack to just steroids. A small fraction of the price for 100 times the results. Story 61. Buying heavy and expensive items on Amazon, returning them. Amazon lets you keep these products because the return shipping is too expensive, and selling them on Facebook Marketplace. Story 62. Rotator cuff injury. MRI confirmed muscle tear with sharp bones as a potential cause. Could not lift my arm above chest level. A friend advised me to read a book that explains how the body actually works and how other muscles can compensate. I did 3 months of strength training focusing on back muscles. After 3 months, I can lift my arm, do a simple hang, and even 3 to 4 pull-ups. Story 63. I used to skip dinner in my poor days. You can't be hungry if you skip a meal. I used to sleep more than 10 hours every night. Later on, I realized that I could use those hours to be more productive. Story 64. Washing my body with water saves toilet paper and results in cleaner underwear. I do not have a refrigerator because I buy fresh food. I live alone and take advantage of the winter months. I am a vegetarian and recently set up a pot-in-pot refrigerator. I use a prepaid card but only renew it every 12 months to keep my number. I use free Wi-Fi with a virtual private network. Story 65. Washing with water saves toilet paper and results in cleaner underwear. I do not use a refrigerator. Instead, I buy fresh food, live alone, Take advantage of the winter months, am vegetarian, and recently set up a pot-in-pot refrigerator. I use a prepaid card but only renew it every 12 months to keep my number. I use free Wi-Fi with a virtual private network. I occasionally hitchhike and ride trains without paying. I live in a low-cost country and own my home outright. I also have a garden. Story 66. Obtaining toilet rolls from my office and replacing them with empty rolls so it will not raise suspicions. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.